Hi, I'm Amy Psyche. I'm the Engineering, Mathematics, and Computer Science librarian here at the U of M-Dearborn at the Mardiggian Library. This presentation is on database searching and how to perform a search within our databases that we offer here at the library. So for our goals, I'm going to give you a quick overview of the Mardiggian Search and an introduction to how to use our LibGuides. And then we're going to go in detail into some of the aspects of searching within the database. Okay, our library is, we are open in person. So we are physically here in our building from 9 to 9 on Monday through Thursday. Friday and Saturday we're closed, and Sunday we're here from noon to 9 p.m. Of course, we're always available on the website, or our resources are always available on the website. So here is our what our web page looks like, and here is our web address to find our website. All right, so we're going to start by looking at the library's main page, the library's homepage. Before we can begin doing any of our actual searching and research, we need to make sure that we're all logged into the VPN. If you try to do searching within the databases before you're logged into the VPN, it will not authenticate you as being a user through our library, and so you won't be able to access those resources. If you forget to turn it on before you start and then you get blocked out, you'll need to clear your cache and close everything down, and then turn the VPN on, open the website back up, search for the article that you were looking for again, and then you should be able to get in. If you don't know how to install our VPN, here is the directions. On the homepage, under the student tab, it's the ITS VPN guide, which you'll need if you're on your own machine, if you're on wireless here on campus, or if you're off campus. So unless you're on one of the wired connections here in the library or one of the other computer labs. The second thing you'll need to start before you begin is you'll need to open your citation tracker, whatever one you're using. You'll see later you don't have to do that, but it definitely makes it a lot easier. If you don't have a citation tracker yet, or you don't know how to go about doing that, my colleague Raya has a good subject guide page. I'll show you in a few minutes how to get to our subject guides. So you can click on the search bar that's at the top of the subject guide page and type in citation tracker or the name of whichever one you want to use. So Tarot is the one that I'll be using. Okay, so back to our guide. Now that we're logged into the VPN and we have our citation tracker open, we can start searching. We're going to begin with the Mardiggian Search, which is a federated search that looks inside of all of the resources that we have available here at the library. And if you leave this drop-down menu clicked on everything, it'll search all of it. It'll even search inside of the subject guides that we've created. It works just like the other databases that I'm going to show you. So I will show you how to use it as I'm showing you how to use the other ones. If you do decide that you already know that you want to use a database, so this would Mardiggian Search would be if you didn't know what database to use, or if you weren't sure what kind of resource you want to use. If you already know you want to use a database, there's 3 different ways to find our databases. You can either click on this database box, and once you're there, you can search by subject, or you can search by title. It's an alphabetical list. If you already know the title that you want to use, or if you have no idea what you want to use, you can try by subject. We have hundreds and hundreds of databases available here through the library. So I would suggest using the third method, which is the one method I'm going to show you, which is to select your database from the list that's on the departmental guides. So to start our searching, we're either going to start with the Mardiggian search box, or we're going to go to a subject guide. So click here on the box for subject guides. You'll get a list here that is all the different subjects that we have guides about, all the different tags that our guides have. So we want to go down to whichever department you're doing research in. Engineering, computer science, mathematics, or someone else's guides. If you're doing one of my 3 departments, you'll find that I've created a departmental guide for each department. And some of the classes, if your instructor has asked me to create one, will also have a course guide, a class page just for your class. If you are looking for a course guide, you'll find it here. This is an indexed page with all of the courses listed on it. Or if you're looking for a departmental guide, just pick your department out of the list here. On those pages, I have the same setup for each page or for each one with different resources on them. But you will find a tab for databases. And those are the databases that out of the hundreds and hundreds that we have, those are the databases that I've selected as being the best bet for doing research in that field, in those topics. So this is the ECE, Electrical Computer Engineering resource page. So these databases here are the ones that I selected as being most useful for the students in that department. What you'll find when you click on the database tab is you will find a listing of databases by topic and also by resource format. So for topics, you'll find aerospace, automotive, biological, environmental, chemical, material, computing, electrical, mechanical, management, sound or optics. And then you'll also find multidisciplinary or cross-topic databases for engineering or science or just general academic research down here. If you were to go to the resource format is where you'd look for if you needed an engineering standard, or if you knew you wanted a resource that was a video or something like that, you'd go to resource format to pick from that list. So as you can see here, each of these databases has a short description telling you what kind of information you'll find in there. So you can pick based on your topic. If none of these topics seem right, or they seem too narrow, then you can pick one of these more broad databases from underneath. Before you begin searching, you're going to want to decide what you're searching for. So the way I've provided for you to do that is I created this sort of worksheet to walk you through establishing your search terms and writing your search query. It's important to know that it's a sort of an iterative process, and you will have to, revise this as you go. It's sort of like a living search document. As you begin to find resources that are working for you, you'll probably want to change the words that you're using in your search to be more precise or to give you the exact information that you're looking for. But this is a good place to start. So if you wanted to write out your sentence, what it is you're trying to learn about, circle the key words, come up with synonyms for each of those words, and then we're going to connect them together. So the databases all use Boolean operators. So your and, or, not, you can connect those words together into strings. So you find your keywords, you find your synonyms, you connect those together into large query strings. So just one example here would be number 3. You say ethics violations in quotes inside parentheses, and you connect that with an or to conduct violation because those are synonyms, and engineering. So what you're asking in number 3 here is you're asking the database system to return to you any documents or any sources that have the phrase ethics violation along with the word engineering, or that has the phrase conduct violation along with the word engineering anywhere in the document. So that's what you'd be asking for in number 3. So that's sort of what we're trying to do, is we're trying to give it a very precise query so that we get precise results. If you were to try number 1, where it's just the 4 words together, ethics violations in engineering, that would give you all the documents and all the resources that have those 4 words anywhere in the document, not necessarily related to each other. It could be in different chapters of an ebook, and it would return that to you. So you'll get a huge number of resources that aren't very helpful for you, that aren't targeted toward your actual need. So that would be sort of there'd be too much noise to really find the good resources in that. Number two, the second search is ethics, violations, engineering. Both of them have their quotes around them. That tells the database that you want that to be a phrase. So ethics violations have to be next to each other together as a phrase. So that would return you everything that has ethics violations together as a phrase, and also the word engineering anywhere within the document. So that would give you much fewer results than number one would, but you might be missing out on a few things. So ethics violations, there's other ways of saying that same thing. You know, one of those would be conduct violation. So by doing our search query in number 3, ethics violation or conduct violation and engineering, you'd be getting the most precise results with the least amount of noise, including the most amount of things that would be relevant to you. You could add other synonyms there as well, but as you see, I've got those nested within parentheses to indicate to the database that I need it to have something from within those parentheses and also the word engineering on the outside of those parentheses in its own set. So the way we could do that, the database that I picked here to show you is Applied Science and Technology Source. It's an EBSCOhost database. A lot of our databases are from EBSCOhost, so their searching is identical within all of them. And also our Mardiggian Search would work the same way. Though in Mardiggian Search, you would need to write it out the way I have it written here in number 3. But a lot of the databases give you boxes like this that you can fill in, or you could go to the advanced search and write it out this way, like it is written out in number 3. So from here, we can type in this researcher's name and ethics or conduct. So we're looking for his name and the word ethics, or we're looking for his name and the word conduct is what we're telling the database here. So for our results, I'm going to delete these filters because I want to show you the filters. So for the results, if we just type in that query, what we end up with is 36,000 returned results. That's way too many to sort through. There's going to be a lot in there that don't have to do with what we want them to do or that are relevant in some way. So in order to get the best high quality sources, we're going to want to weed out a lot of the ones that are not as useful. So we're going to use we're going to use this other document that I prepared that you can also find hopefully in the same place that you found this video. And we're going to use this to work our way through the trap method, which is we're going to look at the timeliness of our results. So this particular violation happened, I think, in 2012. So we're going to go up, let's go up to 2011, just to make sure that we get everything included. So what I've done here is I've moved this slider for publication dates. Anything before the act that we're looking at would be irrelevant. Or maybe not. Maybe we would want to look for previous ethics violations conducted, by the same researcher. Maybe he's also gotten in trouble for other violations as well. If so, you could stretch it back. I don't know how old he is, but if you stretched it back 80 years earlier, so if we went for like 1970, no, sorry, if we went back to like 1930, then we would definitely get his whole lifetime if there was any other violations he had conducted before. So that's something you need to consider. How timely, what is timely for the results you're looking for? Are you looking for only reporting on this specific incident? Are you looking for anything maybe within this person's entire career? Are you looking for any use of this term throughout history? What is timely to your topic would be different than what's timely for a different topic. So in this case, we're going to go with this researcher's entire lifetime to see if there's any other violations that he has perpetrated before this particular one. So we're looking for timeliness. We're looking for authority and accuracy of the resources. So in order to find ones that are authoritative and accurate, we're going to limit our results to scholarly or peer-reviewed journals only, so that we know sort of who the authors are and where the information is coming from. In order to look at the relevance to our topic, we're going to go to full text only, because if it's not full text, it's not really relevant to what I'm looking for. If you're conducting an in-depth thesis or dissertation, it might be, you might want to look at everything there is, even if it means you have to contact the library and put in an interlibrary loan request, because you've got that much time and you want to make sure that you're being that thorough. But for a simple assignment for one class, that really isn't relevant to us, because by the time we would request a document to be sent, it would get here, the librarian would send it to you. By the time you've done all that, your assignment's already late. So anything that's not full text that we can't access immediately would be irrelevant. So to help our relevancy, we're going to change this to full text. It may also be important to your relevancy to limit by language. So this researcher is conducting his research in China, but I don't read Chinese. So anything that's written in Chinese, Russian, Spanish, Ukrainian, Portuguese won't help me at all. I can only read the ones that are written in English. So in order to increase the relevancy and make sure I'm not looking at those 91 that are written in Chinese that I can't read, I'm going to also limit to English. So this gives us now 8,000 results, just under 8,000 results, which is going to be a much narrower group of results, but they're going to be more precise and targeted towards what we really need them to be. So instead of there being 8,000 or 8,000 good results scattered in amongst 39,000 that are appearing, we may have to wade through all of those to get to the good ones. But now hopefully all of these that we've returned should be relevant, current, and authoritative, and help meet our needs for our specific research project. So we can look at these results that have been returned and say we find one that's useful that we think we're going to need. We can click here on the title of it and it'll open the document, or it'll open the abstract. We can either pick to view it as HTML or PDF for this particular article. If you saw the other article, the next one down on the list was only PDF. So some of them are available in different formats, which will hopefully all work for you. But if not, that's another way that you could limit it as well. So this looks like something that might be relevant to us that we want to read. We don't want to sit and read all of the articles right away. So maybe we only have an hour to do some digging today. So we're going to need to save this so that we can come back to it again later. There are several different ways that you can save your results. One is that you can create an account. Most of the databases allow you to create a free account. So you click sign in, and then it will ask you to create an account. Most of our databases allow you to create your own personal free account. So you can do that. And then you can add this to a folder. If you've got several different projects that you're working on at once, you can name different folders and put the relevant documents into the relevant folder. So then you can log back onto this database later, go to your folders and open up the articles that you had saved. So that is one way to do it. Another way that you can do it is to download the PDF, and then you can read it offline. You can read it on, a device. You could download the PDF, put it on your phone and read it while you're stuck in commuting or waiting in the doctor's office. But if you do that, do make sure that you have recorded the citation as well, so that you'll be able to include that citation, obviously, when you do your presentation when you present your findings. So that is one way to do it. The way I would recommend to do it, though, is the third way, which is to put it into your citation management software. So that's why we opened our citation management tool before we began our research. So with this open, we can just come up here. So I'm using Zotero, as I said. You can just come up here to the bookmark, to the plugin bar, and we can just click Save to Zotero. It asks you which one of your Zotero folders you want to put it in. You can just put it in whichever one you want it to be in. And then when you open up your instance on your machine, you'll find it here. You'll find the information you need for your citation here. You can put your notes directly in as you're reading this article. You can put your notes directly, in your citation manager on the article. And then when you get ready to deliver your final product and you're writing your reference page, you can right click on your folder for this class or for this project. You can say create bibliography. You can select your citation style. You can export it in multiple different ways. And then you'll have it to plug right into your paper or your deliverable. So that's my suggestion. Also with this, you can click on it again later and it will open up. You won't have to try to re-find it again. So it'll open up and it'll have a link that'll work for you in there. So you don't have to get back on the library's homepage and log into everything again. And you can click on it and it'll already be there. It'll take you right to it. And the fourth way, the way that maybe you might need to do when you go to create your final deliverable, your instructor will need to check your sources, obviously. If you just take this permalink here and you send that to your instructor, it won't work. So if you're just creating a big list of your resources, not your official bibliography, but just your big list of your resources, or if you need links that are clickable to anybody who can authenticate through our U of M. If you want to create that, you need to take this permalink, you need to copy it. Then you need to go to the libraries page, go to databases, go to off-campus link tool, input it here, and then convert link. And now it'll give you this one, and that is a clickable link. You can now copy that and share it with your classmates or your instructor, and they'll be able to click right on that link and go directly into the article. So that is a thing you'll probably need to do at the end before you submit your assignment so that your instructor can see your sources. But while you're still working, if you don't know you're going to use a source, I would say this is way easier to do it with within your citation management tool, because you're probably going to read a whole lot more than you're actually going to use. So this will save you a headache. Okay. That is all for searching a database. If you need help with this or with anything else, you can go to the library's main page. This box here, contact the Mardiggian, will put you in touch with whoever is on duty at the moment during our virtually open hours. You'll get somebody from user services who can help you with checking out books or placing a hold or an ILL, or you'll get somebody from my department, from the Library Research Center, so one of the subject specialists, and we can help you look within the databases and do some more complicated searching. Or if you want to reach out to me specifically, I'm in the library in person on Mondays from 11 to 7, on Tuesdays from 9 to 5. Here's my email address, so you can email me anytime. Or here's the link to my calendar. If you want to put a Zoom meeting on my calendar, we can do a Zoom meeting. Or here's my office phone number. You can leave me a voicemail and I'll get back to you when I'm in. And so I think that is all. So good luck with your research and thank you for your time.